Good evening.
Hi. One of the dogs is chewing on something. But they just wandered out to the past it.
It's all okay. What's happening? Do you know? No?
Hi,
Hi, I'm just waiting.
we all are, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 more minutes, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know, between 7:30, 7:45, I don't know, like it just,
I've been told to open the room at 7:30, but to start class at 7:45.
okay.
Okay. I just noticed the difference now. I didn't realize we were starting at quarter to 8 today. I understand. Okay. I'm early for the first time ever.
What? What?
I'm early for the first time ever.
Yeah. Hi, Hannah.
Hello.
Hi, Orit.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Okay, we'll wait one more minute and we'll start. Okay, welcome to the first LinkedIn workshop. Tonight we'll discuss, well, first of all, a small introduction, why and how, why should you be on LinkedIn and what should you do there? Everyone can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So first part, we'll look into the LinkedIn profile optimization, which is really the start, and also, really important even when you already have a profile, to keep your profile optimized and to keep it updated. Then we'll go into LinkedIn profile SEO, so search engine optimization, because you want your profile, you want people to find your profile, to be able to be found. If we have time left, we'll also start with personal branding. If not, that will be, we'll pick that up in the next lesson. The next lesson will be about job searching on LinkedIn. And as always, you can interrupt me at any time to ask me a question. And also, if you're not sure what I'm talking about and you want me to show it to you live on LinkedIn, then I can do that as well. All right. I'll skip this part. Okay. So why LinkedIn? First of all, it's the world's largest professional network. So we all know Facebook and Instagram and everything, but professionally, for professional reasons, then LinkedIn is the go-to network with more than 706 million users in more than 200 countries. And this is the place where you can connect with other professionals. So if you're looking for a job, also companies that are looking for candidates, people that are selling on LinkedIn, marketing, it's a great place for professionals. But how do you get the most out of LinkedIn? Because just having a profile is not enough. So you get the most out of LinkedIn when you are found at the right time. Also, when you are able to find yourself. But that is a whole different class. So now we're focusing on getting found. So how do you get found? You have to have an all-star LinkedIn profile. And you have to apply search engine optimization tips. So mostly you can think about keywords, but there are other tips and tricks, really to make sure that your profile will appear in search results. You have to have at least 500 connections, but you can, that is like a minimum on LinkedIn to have a big network, but you can go up to as high as you want. And also interact with those connections. And
Wait,
then
I'm sorry. What did you say an all-star LinkedIn profile is?
I will get into that that's
Okay.
where we start. So these are the 4 steps. So if you really want to take it a step further, you're sharing your own knowledge as well. So sharing content. So tonight we'll start with the step 1, have an all-star LinkedIn profile. Then also step 2, apply search engine optimization tips. Step 3, have more than 500 connections and interact with them only if we have time. And if not, we'll do it in the next class. So we're starting with profile optimization. So you want to have an all-star LinkedIn profile. And I will in one of the slides, it tells you exactly what it means to have an all-star LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn has a few different profile strengths, and all-star is the highest strength. And if you have an all-star profile, it means that you also score higher in search results, and it also means that you have a more complete profile. It doesn't mean that your profile is great even, but it means that you checked some boxes that LinkedIn finds the most important. So here are a few elements of a LinkedIn profile that's ready for success. We will cover all of them, but in general, these are extremely important parts of your LinkedIn profile. So first of all, a profile picture that builds more trust. If your profile doesn't have a picture, or if you do have a picture, but it's not visible, because that is something that's also quite common, then chances are that people won't view your profile. So that is really important. I'll get back to it later. A headline that encourages to read more. So the headline is what people see next to your profile picture, next to your name, and that really has to encourage them to read more, to check out your profile. A location that is the most relevant for you professionally. A location is also really important because most of the time when people search for someone on LinkedIn, whether it be for a job or for a company looking for a service provider, most of the times they include a location in their searches. So that is why it's really important to include a location, even if you have, if you're located in one country, but you're from another country, you still have to choose one location to include on your LinkedIn profile.
I have a question about that.
Yeah, can you ask it when I get to, because all of these parts I'll cover. No, okay, right. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, if you want to expand on that, and then I can ask my question, so I can wait.
Yeah, I'll expand on it a little bit later. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
fine.
all right. So then an about section that provides clarity and sparks curiosity. So that is really on the top of your LinkedIn profile, where you can summarize your profile. A current job experience that shows why you're the best. The current job experience is always the most important, also for SEO reasons. I'll get back to that later. And keywords for a higher listing in the search results. So like I said, I get back to this later, every point, but it's just really good to have a picture of what is really important on my profile. And that is this. All right, so I want to start with the 4 parts that are viewed the most. So here's also where we see the location, the headline, the name, and the profile picture. So why are these parts so important, and why are they viewed the most? Does anyone have an answer?
Is that what shows up as search results when you search for things on LinkedIn?
Yeah, so that is one answer, and it's really important to realize that when someone searches on LinkedIn, this is what they get. They get your profile picture, your name, your headline, and your location. So these elements have to be filled out and have to be optimized. The search results is not the only place where people will see this. Another place, for instance, where people might see these elements is when you're commenting on someone's post and someone sees your comment and they go over your name, your profile picture, and they see, your headline. So that is another place. Sometimes you look at profiles and you see people also viewed. That is another place where people can see this. When you recommend someone or someone recommended you, you show up on their profile, and that is also a place again where people will see this. So this is just these parts are viewed the most, and so are extremely important. I'll get into the elements. I'll get into the profile picture, headline, and location. I won't get into the name, but I do want to mention that it's important to just use your name. You also have people including their email address, their phone number, emojis, even job titles. First of all, it's against the LinkedIn rules, although in general, you see a lot of people that still are able to get away with it, but it's also not professional. So really just use it for your name. Okay, so let's start with the profile picture. Here you see it, and this is LinkedIn, what LinkedIn themselves say. Just having a picture makes your profile 14 times more likely to be viewed by others. So in other words, if you don't have a profile picture, you can forget about being viewed at all, because it just people just don't trust profiles without a profile picture. So here are some tips. First of all, make sure it's a high quality picture. If you can have it made by a professional, then that's great. If not, then you should be able to make a good profile picture with your smartphone. It has to be a headshot. So you also see a lot of pictures from afar, and that's really small and it really doesn't give a picture. So it has to be, it has to be a headshot. Even this would be too big. So you can just go, around the face a little bit. A neutral background. So if you're still have to make one, you can, stand in front of a white wall, for instance. You would wear the clothes that match you and your job or the company you're working for. So that means that someone would be wearing a suit and another would be wearing real casual clothes. It really depends on what matches your situation. And then, of course, it's good to smile. You want to look approachable to the people that are viewing your profile. So then we're moving on to the headline. So the headline is really, you can really see it as a headline in a newspaper. When you read a newspaper or when you're reading the news on an app or on a news website, you look at the headline and then decide whether or not you'll be reading the article, whether or not you find it interesting to read. And that goes for your LinkedIn profile as well, because when they look at your headline, they will also decide if they will view your profile or if it's not interesting at all. And what a lot of people do is they have like a job title in their headline. And it says, for instance, manager, just an example. And it really doesn't tell us anything. In which industry, what company, what team, what kind of manager, you don't know anything. So it's like not using the space at all. You should really consider this, the headline, as your most important real estate on LinkedIn. So you have to make use of the space you have, and you have space to include a lot. So for instance, you can start with your job title. What do you do? Then add in some keywords. And when you're thinking about keywords, think about what your potential profile viewers are searching for. So maybe they're using keywords, and you are using slightly different variation of the keywords, but think about what are your profile viewers searching for. And then there's even space to include a statement. So what is the value you create for your new employer or your new client? What are the results you'll be getting them? If you're looking for a new job or project, then you can also include that in the headline and make the beginning count, because you have a lot of space, but you don't see all of it all over LinkedIn. Sometimes you only see at the beginning of the headline. So that is why you have to make the beginning count. So really start with the job title and follow up with keywords, and then save the statement for the end. All right, so then the location. So like I said, a location is the most relevant for you professionally. So it doesn't mean that if you're from one country, but you live in the other, but your clients are still in, let's say you live in Israel, but your clients are in the US. So you can choose to keep your location set on the United States. Why not if your clients are there or if you're looking for a job there? So think about what you want. Don't think about where you're actually living, but where are your clients, or where do you want clients, or where do you want a job? So, and then you can use a postal code. You can even use, if you have a certain city in which you work or want to work, but you want to make it a little broader, you can even look for another postal code that is really central to the area, so that you have, so that when people are searching for you, you have more chances also to be found. But depending on the country, you have different options for the location. So some areas you only have a few options, and some you have a lot. So like I said, so think about where you want to work, where you're working, not necessarily where you're living. And the more precise, the better. So if you live in Israel, it's better to include a city as well. So to say Tel Aviv, Israel, instead of Israel, because again, a lot of people search for locations. And if you'll say Tel Aviv, Israel, you'll also be found for Israel, but you'll also be found for Tel Aviv. Whereas if you only say Israel, you will only be included in searches specifically for when people just say Israel without a specific city. Do you still have a question about the location?
Yes. Okay. So because I had this issue when I was looking for a job, because I was living in Beit Shemesh, but I didn't want to put Beit Shemesh because there's not too many jobs there. And I also really wasn't looking for a job in Jerusalem. I was looking more for a job in the center, like Tel Aviv or something like that. So now you're telling me, yeah, you put where you want to work, not where you actually are. However, let's say I was still living in Beit Shemesh and I put Tel Aviv, and then I get an interview and I mention I live in Beit Shemesh. Doesn't that seem like I'm lying or something?
No, so first of all, it's really no one's business what kind of location you put on your resumes, on your LinkedIn profile, because it's really about, you want as much as opportunities as you can find. And if you want to work in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, then it's totally fine to include that location. And second of all, you don't have to mention to them in the interview that you live in Beit Shemesh at all. You can keep that for later when you signed your job agreement. You can just when you signed your contract. So in your example is great. Just put Jerusalem or Tel Aviv, and you'll have more opportunities in those areas. You'll be included when people are searching for Jerusalem or Tel Aviv, and then there was way more work, so way more, the chances are higher that they will approach you, or that when you're applying that they will invite you. And it's not lying on LinkedIn, because it's just about being smart.
Okay.
It's not something I would put on my resume, for instance. That is a different story. I wouldn't say on my resume, Jerusalem when you live in Beit Shemesh, but but for your LinkedIn profile, it's totally okay. It only shows that you're smart.
Okay.
Any other questions about the location?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, as we speak, I'm trying to update my location on my profile. Are you gonna go over the technical details later, or can I ask it now?
What technical?
It's just that my profile only says Israel, and I'm trying to update Tel Aviv now, but
Okay, then just to show you where you can find it.
Yeah, I can find it. It's just that I have to select. I can't select just Tel Aviv and Israel. I can't select both.
No, because when you first of all, you go to your profile and you click here. So you don't have to select Tel Aviv and Israel. It will already be Israel. So here, for instance, Tel Aviv, I'm also not located in Tel Aviv, by the way. So Tel Aviv, and then it already says Tel Aviv, Israel.
Okay, thanks. Sorry about that.
And you also sometimes have variations like, is it the actual Tel Aviv city or Tel Aviv area? So for instance, for Tel Aviv, you have Tel Aviv, Yafo, Tel Aviv, Tel Aviv. So you have a lot of different options. So this one is like the general one, or the area one. All right.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so when you when you're finished with those important parts, then you'll have to make your profile complete in order to get an all-star profile. And you have to include an about section, a current position, an industry, education, skills, at least 5 skills, at least 2 past positions, and at least 50 connections. Although the connections could be that LinkedIn doesn't require them anymore to have all-star profile, but still, of course, to have at least 50 connections is a good thing. So if you have all of this, then you should see this on your profile, all-star profile. And it means that according to LinkedIn, your profile is looking great. And they also say that you have that only the top 25% of people, only 25% of the users have an all-star profile. So you're already part of the top, and also in search results, you end up higher. So I'll get into these elements. So first of all, the about section. So the about section is really a summary. So a summary of your profile, of your experience. There are different ways to write it, but a good way is to talk about their problem. So this is mostly when you're talking, for instance, when you have a service to offer where you're a freelancer or you have your own company, you'll talk about the problems of your customers or the problem of your employer if you're looking for a new job. Then your solution. So what kind of solution do you offer? And then with your solution, what kind of results will they get? And then a call to action. So it doesn't matter what kind of summary you have, whether you're looking for a job, whether you're looking for clients or something else. It's always good to include a call to action. So what do you want the people to do now? Do you want them to invite you to join your network, or do you want them to schedule a call with you, or to sign up for a newsletter, or whatever it is, include it in the summary with a link, or if that's the case. So tell them what to do. Again, here, you also have to make the beginning count, because only the first 2, sometimes 3 sentences are visible, and then they have to click see more. So if in the beginning it isn't interesting, they might not click see more, and then you wrote an about section without people reading it. Also, you can show some personalities. You can share something personal, like it can be a hobby, what you'd like to do in your spare time, or any other detail that is nice to share. And it's also good, it's optional, but if you want to make it easy for people to contact you, you can include contact information. If people don't have a premium account, they cannot send you an email. So the only thing they can do is either invite you, or if you do include contact information, they could send you an email or give you a call. But of course, it's totally optional, whatever feels good for you.
But you also
is
can,
this not against
they
rules?
also can contact you through LinkedIn. They can send you, they can message you.
Sorry?
They can message you. through
No, they can
LinkedIn.
only message you when you're connected to them. So if someone is visiting your profile, but you're not yet connected, they have to invite you.
Yes,
if
but
they
once
want
you
to send you a message. It's not like
once they invite you, you accept, you can.
Yeah. But it's not like on Facebook that you can send a message to someone and they can then accept it or.
Yeah,
or,
but then also, I think that's also good, because the fact that you're accepting also encourages you to read more about this person who you're about to contact. So you can actually read this person's profile before you accept anything to do with this person, right?
Yeah, of course. You have people that accept everyone. You have people that check out the profile and all. You have all kinds of people like you. I always check out their profiles, and if I don't think it's spam or anything, I just accept. But you have people that are really strict, that only accept people that they know. But that is like, if you only accept invitation from people you know, then
That's not the point of LinkedIn, isn't it?
no, that's not really, then you
That's
won't really
Facebook.
get a
You
lot,
might just
a lot
accept
of
the
out
people
of
you
it.
know, the socializing.
Yeah, so it's really personal. Like I made the decision, so on LinkedIn, everybody's welcome, except if it looks like spam or something. And on Facebook, only people I know. But that is my personal decision, and everyone, you have all kinds of, in general, I advise you to accept all the invitations if they're, kosher.
Also,
And
when you send an invitation, it's a lot of people actually search and press your profile. So which is actually good, because then it's promoting you in LinkedIn. LinkedIn likes that.
Depends on depends on how many invitations you send and how many get accepted. But in general, yes, of course, you that's what LinkedIn wants, to that you're active on LinkedIn. So just go ahead and invite people. But for the invitations, it's always better if you personalize the invitation. So it doesn't mean that you have to have spend a lot of time on it, but even if you have like a basic setup and then you add their name and then you maybe have some variations, or you mention something that you saw on their profile, then the chances are higher that people will accept your invitation. Of course, you don't want to send out too many invitations and to have too many people say ignore, because then LinkedIn won't like that. So you don't want people to click here. So in general, when you see that someone has over 500 connections on LinkedIn, then you're probably safe that they won't click ignore. But when you have someone with a really small amount of connections, then it's better to be a little bit more to personalize the invitation, or not to invite them in the first place. So then the current job experience is really important. So this is more than just stating the job title and the company and the dates, but really elaborate. So what do you do? Who do you help? Why are you better than your competitors? You can add media, so meaning photos, files. And what is really important here is the actual job title. So you can start with your official job title, but then you include your most important keywords. So for instance, okay, so let me find a good example. For instance, someone would say recruiter, but that is a waste of space. So here you include all kinds of keywords: remote recruiter, interim recruiter, IT recruiter, LinkedIn recruiter, talent sourcer, Boolean. So these are all words that people might be searching for, and if they're placed in the job title, they score higher in the search results. So when people are searching for LinkedIn recruiter, then they will find me because it's in my job title. So make use of the space. Whoa. Okay. Then you have all kinds of sections you can add. You can add your background, for instance, if you have volunteer experience, and all kinds of accomplishments. So mostly what I include are certifications, courses, projects, and languages. Languages also really important, not just to include the language, but also the level, so that people know, because sometimes people are looking for someone that speaks a specific language, but if you don't know the level, you still don't have enough information. And a lot of people forget to include their native language because they assume that everybody knows that that is their native language, so they don't even include it. But no, also include your native language, your mother tongue, and then also the other languages you speak. But there are way more areas you can add: publications, honors, test scores, organizations. There is a lot more. You also have a contact and personal info area. Here you can include 3 websites, a phone number, an email address, and also Twitter, Instant Messenger, and birthday. So 2 notes about that. So for email address, check your email address and make sure you use your professional email address as your primary email address. So the email address you use to sign into LinkedIn is your primary email address. And a lot of people, they're using, for instance, their personal email address over there, but they actually want to use their professional email address. So check what is your primary LinkedIn email address and make sure it's the correct one that you want to receive communication, and also that you want other people to see, if you allow other people to see it. For birthday, it's good to make your birthday visible, because then on your birthday you can get people congratulating you. Not that is so super, but it's a good way to have some interaction with your connections. Then you also want a visually attractive photo. So there are a few things you can do. So you can add a cover photo. So this is the cover photo. This is one photo. You can design one. For instance, you can go to Canva and then select LinkedIn banner. Then you get the exact size that you need, and you will pick, for instance, a photo, and then this is a great example, your name, what it is that you do. Even better if you have some contact information there, like your phone number or email address or website. But this is really, this is a really great one, but you do have to consider that on desktop, your profile photo goes over it. So you have to make sure that behind the photo, it's not, damaging your cover photo. But on mobile, you see your profile photo in the middle. So that's why you have to make sure that these areas are, like if you would add text, then the best place is to do it here, like he did on the right. Another way to make it visually attractive is to add media. So media can be documents, photos, videos, presentations. You can, if sometimes you can't really think of something, but then there's always the possibility to make a screenshot of something that can also be media. There are 3 places where you can add media. You can add it, I will show you. So you can add it underneath the job experience. So here it's part of this job. You can also add it under education. And you can add it it used to be here under the about section, but now it's here in the featured section. So if you want to add something here that people can see it right away, then you click on the plus and then say, so here you can choose to show content you posted on LinkedIn or an article you published on LinkedIn, or a link if you have something external. But if you want to add media, you can do that too. So this is adding media without it being a post on LinkedIn. So here you can just pick from your computer whatever it is that you want to share. Another really important point to make it visually attractive, not only to make it visually attractive, but also to be found, is to link company pages to your profile. So you have a lot of people that have jobs on their profile and the company page isn't linked. There are 2 reasons for this. So either there is no company page, and in that case, there's nothing you can do unless it's your own company and you can create a company page. The other option is that you just went and typed the company name and didn't wait for the company to appear. And then you're stuck without a logo. So when you add a position on LinkedIn, so here, always start with, okay, so I will go for my own company. I wait until you here. Now I see it, then I click it, and then I save it. So you have a lot of people that just here, for instance, they think, okay, sociable lift, LinkedIn, oh, don't know what happened. That's strange. All right. So, and then they would click save, and then you just don't have a company page on your profile. So first of all, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look professional, but also when people are visiting that company page, then they see the employees. So in this case, it's 1. So a lot of times when people are visiting a company page, they want to see the employees and they click here. And then they see a list of those employees. So if you don't have the company page linked, then they won't see you there. All right. Okay, just want to check one thing. So we covered the about section, the current position, and the industry. I just want to go into the industry and the skills before we move on. So industry is what you find here. here. And what happens a lot of times is that you add an industry the first time you open your profile, you edit your profile, and then people don't go back to it. So they have their industry stuck on something they're not even working in that industry anymore. So every time you switch positions, check if your industry is still up to date. So the industry is something that you select from a list. So it's not like you can select anything you want. So here you have your options. Okay, so make sure that when you switch positions that you update your industry. Also the skills is important. Here you have your skills and endorsements. So add a new skill. I've reached the maximum number of skills, and I suggest that you also do the same thing, because first of all, skills are also important for your search engine, for your being able to come up in searches for your SEO. So that is one reason why you should add as many skills as possible. The second reason is that if you don't do it yourself, then your connections might endorse you for a skill that is not relevant for you at all. So that is why I suggest to go for the maximum number of skills, which is 50. Then what you also should do is select 3 top skills. So 3 of them you can pin. So those can be the most important skills or the skills with the most endorsements. Those you would pin. And also what is important is to check if this is set, everything is set on yes, and I want to be endorsed. Include me in endorsement suggestions to my connections, and show me connections, suggestions to endorse my connections. So these are all should be yes, specifically the first 2. Okay, so that is really important. Then I want to go into some settings and privacy, because a lot of things are also dependent on your settings. So it's really a shame if you have, for instance, a beautiful profile picture, but it's not visible. This is just an example. So there are a few different places where you have to check some things, but first of all, you can go to me and then click settings and privacy. And then you have a whole menu with a lot of different options. So a really important area is the visibility. So when you get there on the left, you have many, so you click visibility. Then you have 2 types of visibility. You have visibility of your profile and network, and visibility of your LinkedIn activity. I just want to go over a few, and of course you can do whatever you want with your settings, but this is what I suggest. So for instance, profile viewing options, choose whether you're visible or viewing in private mode. So here, full profile. So meaning when you are viewing someone else's profile, that person is able to see that. That is a good thing, because they will visit you as well. Maybe you invite each other to connect. So this is a good way. Then connections. Choose if your connections can see your connections list. Yes, because it's about linking, networking. So I suggest to put it on yes. Who can see your last name? Again, I would say full, so that people can see your full name. Representing your organization and interests. Show your name and or profile information with other content shown on LinkedIn. Yes. So for instance, with a company page, one of the companies you worked for, that you will show up on that company page as an employee. So yes. Choose whether approved apps and partner service can find and display information from your profile. Yes. So if people are using other apps, you want them to be able to find you. Profile discovery using email address. So choose who can discover your profile if they haven't connected with you, but have your email address. So yes, everyone. So they have your email address, and from your email address, they're able to find you and invite you on LinkedIn. Maybe they import all their email addresses, and then they see right away, hey, she has a profile, I'll invite her or him. Profile discovery using phone number. So the same thing there. So I'd suggest everyone. Then who can see or download your email address? I zoomed it in. This is of course a personal option. First of all, I was really public with it, and now I'm thinking I'm getting a little bit too much spam. So now I decided to make it only visible to me. Then, but it's up to you. And then allow your connections to download your email in their data export. So what you can do, and what I also suggest you do, is you export your connections every month. And then you used to be able to get the email address of all your connections in the export, but now most of the people have this set on no. So now you'll get a few email addresses, but still you can choose here whether or not you want your connections to be able to download your email address. Now, this is also important. So the visibility of your LinkedIn activity. Share profile updates with your network. I have this set on no because I make a lot of profile updates, and then I don't want every change to be for every change I make to have my whole network notified. But if you only update it once, yes, then I would say yes. Notify connections when you're in the news. Yes, this is something that to most of us, it doesn't happen that we're mentioned in the news, but I have it set on yes, just in case. Then mentions or tags, choose whether other members can mention or tag you. So yes, really important. And choose who can follow you and see your public updates. So everyone, so you want, why not? You want followers on your LinkedIn profile. So another area besides visibility is account preferences. And what I wanted to, a few tips here as well. First of all, language. I think most of you, maybe your native language is English, but for people like me that the native language isn't English, I still suggest to put the language on English because when there are new features and everything on LinkedIn, they usually start with English. So it's the best to always have it set on that language. Here, everyone's showing profile photos. You want to see everyone's profile photo. Why wouldn't you? And this is really important. People also viewed. Choose if this feature appears on your profile. No, you don't want this on your profile. It means that when you probably recognize it, when you're on someone's profile, you first see people you may know, and then below, but I don't have it now because I say no, then you see people also viewed, and then people are visiting my profile, and then they see people also viewed, and those might be my competitors, and they click away to visit their profile. So you don't want that. So no. Okay, we'll go into some SEO tips now. Mostly it's about keywords. So you have to create a good keyword strategy to score optimally in search results. So again, like I said before, you choose keywords that your audience uses. And if you're not sure which keywords your audience uses, you can use an online keyword search tool. So for instance, keyworddiscovery.com/search.html. So who has an example of a keyword or of something that is your specialty? Who has an example of, or job title even?
Office management, of administration.
Okay, office management. So, okay. So, I'm not sure this is the best example for this case, because I don't see a lot of. I'll use another example. Okay. Well, for instance, what I see here is, for instance, digital. And I am using online marketing, but maybe I should be using digital marketing. I see the results are a little less a little bit weird tonight, the results. I don't know why, but okay. So for instance, you could say, okay, online marketing agency. Yes, I can include that on my profile, online marketing agency. Or like I said, digital marketing. Or, oh yes, strategy. People want an online marketing strategy. I'll include strategy. So this is a good way, but there are other websites. This is just an example to think about, okay, what kind of keywords could I include as well? So what you do, you select some keywords and you focus on 2 or 3 of the most important ones. And those keywords you repeat several times on your LinkedIn profile. First of all, in your headline, in the about section, and so the summary, in your job title. So first the official job title, then your most important keywords, also the job description, and also the skills section. So all these 5 areas should have your 2 to 3 important keywords listed. So decide what they are for you, like writer, writing. Think about what will be your 2 to 3 important keywords that have to be visible in each of those sections. If you want to take it even a step further with SEO, then there are a few tricks. So first of all, when you upload your before you upload your profile picture, you can rename your profile photo, and in the name you include those keywords. So then when people are Googling, your profile picture can be in the search results, and then they can find you. So for instance, for writer, they're Googling writer and your profile picture from LinkedIn might show up. Same goes for your background banner. Use keywords when adding media. So anything that you upload to LinkedIn, you can first rename it to include keywords before you upload anything. Also, when you publish a video, when you upload a video on LinkedIn, so there as well, make sure that you include, that you make use of titles and descriptions to include a lot of keywords. And you can customize the default names of the links to external websites. This is something that I will show you. So when you're here, you see contact info. And like I said, you have space for 3 links. When you say that most people say, for instance, company, then this line will disappear. Only when you select other, you are able to name the links. And in the link, you have keywords, but the space is really limited. So still in every link, I was able to include the word LinkedIn, for instance. Okay, so what is also good to do is to check out your search appearances. So you showed up in searches, and how did you show up? How did you show up? So you can either go to this link or to your dashboard on your profile and then see search appearances. Then you see, for instance, where your searches work, which is interesting, what they do, but also the keywords they used. So now I see, for instance, that I appear in searches for trainer, recruiter, information technology recruiter, and sourcer. So I know that in those 4 areas, I'm doing well in searches, but I'm missing LinkedIn, I'm missing social media. So I know in those areas I may be able to improve some things. So these search appearances can help you, and they will be different every time. So if I would click now, it will show something totally different companies, different, okay, here different keywords. So a few of them are the same, but now I come up in these 2 searches, and I have no idea why, because that is interesting, because I'm not using those words as far as I know. But maybe this can help you to see, okay, maybe I'm missing some words here, or maybe I see that I'm doing well on some other words. Oh, sorry. Okay, why? Okay. Okay, that was weird. I was stuck. Okay. Okay, so also for search engine optimization, it's really important that you have an all-star level, because that again increases your chances to score higher. So if you didn't, at this point, if you go over the presentation and make the changes, then this can be a checklist. Do you have a profile picture, about section, location, current position, at least 2 past positions, industry, education, at least 5 skills. But like I said, if you can add 50, it's even better. And at least 50 connections, then you know that you're on your way. So also, like I said, edit your industry, select the right industry for your current position. So don't forget to switch it when you switch positions. Ask for recommendations. Also, recommendations can improve your SEO. So ask them from customers, colleagues, employers, the current ones or former ones. And even better if you can ask them to include relevant keywords. So for instance, I can ask you for a recommendation, but I can ask you specifically, can you recommend my LinkedIn training instead of my resume training, or the other way around? What kind of keyword do you want to score higher for? And then you can ask people for a specific recommendation. Of course, it's up to them what to write, but you can point them in the right direction. So then, like I said, add up to 50 skills. 50 is the limit. Manage how you receive and give endorsements. So have all of them checked on yes. And link company pages to your profile so that people will visit your profile from those company pages. Also, which I told you this, I told you this in the resume workshop, but this is really important to personalize the URL of your LinkedIn profile so that you have linkedin.com/in/your name. The same place is where you have to select your profile's public visibility. So you would say on. So this, I showed you this, but I will show it one more time because it's really important. So that is here, edit public profile and URL. So here's where you would edit your custom URL. And here's where you would add the visibility. So this has to be on. And then profile photo, really important, public. So not only first degree connections. And I see this happen a lot, that I'm a second degree connection or someone invites me, I don't see a photo, I accept and I see the photo. So they have it set on this, and that's really not good. And everything actually I would put on show. Why would you put that? Why would you invest time and energy in adding these sections and then not show them? So this is really important. And those are all things you can do on LinkedIn on your profile, but there are other things that you can do on LinkedIn. You can join relevant groups on LinkedIn and participate in conversations or start your own conversations. And then people will visit your profile from other places on LinkedIn, which is good for your SEO. And then you can also link to your LinkedIn profile from other websites, so from outside of LinkedIn, which is also good for your SEO. So if you have a website, a blog, or other social media profiles, you can include your LinkedIn link there when guest posting on other blogs. And then you also have content marketing. So if you publish posts, this is good for your SEO, and also use hashtags when you're posting. Well, if you did all that, then it's really important, but still also try to update it every now and then, your LinkedIn profile. Specifically, if you're looking for a job or if you're switching jobs, it's really important then to keep it updated. And there are a few things that I suggest you do on a monthly basis. So review your profile and your skills and see if there's something that needs to change. Then also save or export a copy of your profile, that if something goes wrong, that you at least have all your content saved to PDF. So if something were to go wrong, you can just copy and paste it. And it's really good to export your connections. Again, if something would go wrong, you would have a list of your connections. You can go to My Network, then select Connections, then manage synced and important contacts. And then here you would click export contacts. You can do this on a monthly basis. So this is, so my network. Then connections. And then manage synced and important contacts. And then export contacts. Then you go here, and this, so another way to go there is directly from me, settings and privacy. Okay, there are 2 ways to get there. So then you would say you want something in particular, you want connections, and then request archive. And you can also include your profile here right away, or anything else that you, or your recommendations, also important to have them on file. So then it's time to give you some homework for next week. So there are 3 steps. So first step, well, mostly it's about the first step. Reach LinkedIn All-Star status. Maybe you already have it. That doesn't mean that you should ignore this. That means that you should optimize every section of it. So mostly on slide number 9 and 13 is where you would find that, the checklist. And write your summary using the summary formula on slides 14 and 15. So really about their problem, your solution, their results, something personal, call to action, make the beginning count. So write a summary. And then after you did that, add me to your LinkedIn network and say, mention this course that I know that I have to look at your profile. And then next week, we will go over some profiles, we will go over some summaries, and you can ask, of course, questions that you had while doing your homework. Are there any questions right now?
Yeah. Call to action in a summary for somebody that's not running their own business or looking for a job. They just have a LinkedIn page because they have one. What kind of call to action would that be?
Yeah, so your call to action can be to invite you on LinkedIn.
Maybe to email you.
Wait, I will show you. I will show you something. Okay, so my summary is not a good example, but this can be a call to action. Just send me an invitation.
Okay.
This is really basic. It's but whatever you think is, whatever you can think of. What do you want them to do with your profile? Do you want them to add you? Then that something like that, it would be fine.
Okay. Okay, other questions. Skill quizzes. What do you think about skill quizzes?
I wouldn't waste your time with those.
Okay.
I wouldn't invest your time in those. No. It's something new, and LinkedIn wants you to, you know, they want you to do them, but it's not really what it doesn't really, I don't really see the benefit yet. People will look at your profile and they don't have to know about the quiz you took and that you scored great. You can do it, but it's, I only if you have time to spare.
I have a question. Are we supposed to add you on LinkedIn only after we do everything else, or can we add you first and then fix our profiles?
You can add me first, but then just when you're done, say, send a message. Can even be a message, our best words, you know, something that I know, yeah.
Okay.
That I know that I have to look at your profile, but of course you can add me. You can add me now as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm new to Our Best Words. It's my first week, so where do I see these slides? Where do I see them?
Good question, but we will make sure that you'll see them. I'll make a
Okay.
note. Yeah. There has to be a Google Drive folder that you should be able to access.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened till now, so yeah, I will ask maybe Effie. I don't know.
Yeah, and I will check as well, because I made some small changes, and I think right now the last year's presentation is on there, so I will make sure that this one is on there as well.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? All right, then yeah, so the next, like I said in the beginning, personal branding will be in the next class.
Can you go back to slide 14 and then we know what it's about? What exactly you want us to do? Oh, okay. There.
Yeah, so their problem, your solutions, their results, and the call to action. And then make the beginning count. See more, because before people click see more, it has to be interesting enough. Show some personality, include contact information. These are only tips, so you're not obligated to show personality. You're not obligated to include contact information. You're not obligated to follow this formula as well, because this can be more suited for people with their own business, maybe. But yeah, but in general, it has to be like a small story. Also, only if you want, when you write me, that when you're ready, if, for instance, you want, do you want us to go for the next class? I don't know how many people will send me their profiles and everything, but if you have a preference to scan your whole profile in class, or to go deeper into your summary in the lab, or neither, or only if you have like a preference, then you can mention it as well. Okay, so I'd say good luck, and this is really important. Whether you're looking for a job now or in the future, or you're starting your business now or in the future, or this is not a waste of time. Every minute you spend doing this is like an investment. So just go for it, and then keep it up also after, you know, when you did this, then always do this. If it doesn't have to be every month, but you know, keep it up to date. All right, then wishing you a nice evening, and see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.